My child, don't turn away from this message right now. I am stepping into your moment with a weight that your spirit can feel, even if your mind cannot understand it yet. Heaven stopped you because something important is happening in the unseen world around you. Something shifting, something stirring, something rising that you do not see but have already begun to feel. Do not ignore this moment. Do not treat this like something ordinary. This is not just another message passing across your screen. This is a divine interruption, a holy collision between my voice and your heart. I have been watching you, waiting for the exact second when your spirit would be open enough, tired enough, desperate enough, willing enough to receive what I need to tell you right now. My child, if you ignore this message, you will miss a moment prepared for you, a moment you didn't expect but deeply needed. You were not planning to hear me today, but I have been planning to speak to you. You thought you simply paused for a second, but heaven orchestrated that pause. You thought your thumb hovered by chance, but my hand guided it. You thought curiosity led you here, but it was destiny pulling you into alignment. Heaven paused everything to reach you in this exact moment. Even now, angels stand still, watching your heart respond, waiting for your next breath, listening for whether you will lean in or turn away. My beloved, I speak with deep love and divine intensity. This is an urgent, emotion-packed warning from my heart to yours. I am not whispering. I am not hinting. I am not nudging softly. I am calling out to you with the full force of heaven's concern, heaven's love, heaven's protection. I placed this message in front of you on purpose. You weren't supposed to scroll past this. You weren't supposed to ignore this. You weren't supposed to treat it casually. You were supposed to open it right now, in this very second, because your spirit has reached a breaking point, because your life is shifting, because something in you has been crying out for me even when your mind didn't realize it. You have felt it, haven't you? That strange heaviness in your chest. That sudden pressure in your thoughts. That feeling that something is coming, something is changing, something is reaching toward you. You couldn't explain it, but you felt the air around your life becoming spiritually heavier. You sensed something forming, something you couldn't name. That was heaven preparing you for this moment. That was my spirit whispering, stay awake. Stay aware. Something is coming. That with a quiet stirring I placed inside you because I knew this message would meet you at a crossroads, one path leading to clarity, protection, breakthrough, and safety. The other leading to confusion, pain, delay, and regret. Your life is shifting. You may not see all the pieces moving yet, but your spirit can feel the tremors. Plans are changing. People are changing. Emotions are rising. Pressure is building. Doors are shaking. Seasons are colliding. And in the middle of all of it, I am reaching out my hand, trying to pull you into alignment before it's too late. This moment carries weight, more weight than you realize. The next few minutes could protect you from months of unnecessary pain. The next few sentences could stop you from stepping into something dangerous. The next breath could determine the direction your life takes. That is why I brought you here. That is why this message feels different. That is why my presence feels so heavy around you right now. My child, do not walk away. Do not look aside. Do not tell yourself you'll come back later. Later will be too late. This moment is holy. This moment is intentional. This moment is heaven pulling you into a divine encounter that you did not expect but absolutely need. I am pouring an urgency into your spirit because I see what you cannot. I see the attack forming. I see the trap setting. I see the deception rising. I see the emotional storm building. I see the decision approaching. I see the enemy moving toward your weakness. And I will not let you walk into what is coming without warning you, without covering you, without awakening you. You have no idea how much has been moving around you in silence. How much has been trying to influence you, pressure you, distract you, weaken you. How close you came to walking into something that would have broken you. How close you came to missing something that would have healed you. I am stopping you now so you do not step into the wrong moment or step out of the right one. Because this moment, this unexpected, intense, emotion-packed moment carries the breakthrough, the clarity, the protection you prayed for but were not expecting to arrive like this. My beloved, this is me pleading with you. Yes, and pleading. The Creator of heaven and earth leaning toward your trembling heart and saying, stay. Listen. Do not turn away. This message is alive. This moment is sacred. And I am speaking not to your mind, but to your soul. What comes next will reveal what has been hidden, expose what has been forming, and protect what I have placed inside you. Stay with me now. Do not walk away. Heaven brought you here because your destiny needed this moment. My child, breathe for a moment and understand something deeply. You did not arrive here by accident. You did not stop here because of curiosity, boredom, or coincidence. You were stopped here because I stopped you. I reached into your moment, into your scrolling, into your wandering thoughts, and I placed my hand on your spirit. I interrupted your path on purpose. Heaven orchestrated this pause with precision you cannot imagine. Every second aligned. Every movement aligned. Every thought aligned. I drew you into this moment because you were seconds away from missing something important, something your destiny needed, something your heart cried for without words, something your spirit has been starving for. Right, amen. I stand firm in faith if nothing can shake your trust in Him. You didn't plan to hear me today, but I plan to speak to you. I've been waiting for this opening, waiting for this softening in your heart, waiting for this moment when the noise around you faded just enough for my voice to slip in. You didn't wake up expecting divine intervention, but I woke you up knowing exactly when I would interrupt your flow and redirect your attention toward me. This message is not random. It is appointed. It is necessary. It is urgent. I brought you here because timing matters in the unseen realm far more than you realize. My child, your life has been moving quickly. Your thoughts have been overwhelmed. Your emotions have been stretched thin. You have been carrying pressures you try to hide from everyone around you. You have been wrestling with questions you don't know how to articulate. You have been walking through days that feel heavy, confusing, and unpredictable. I saw you whispering to yourself, I don't know what's wrong. I just feel off. That was not confusion. That was your spirit sensing the shift in the spiritual atmosphere around you. I have watched every moment of your struggle. The moments you felt alone. The moments you didn't have the strength to get out of bed. The moments you were surrounded by people yet still felt unseen. The moments your thoughts became too loud and too heavy. The moments you questioned your future, your worth, your place in this world. I watched you breaking slowly in places you didn't know how to heal. I heard every silent cry. I felt every unspoken ache. You thought no one noticed, but I noticed. I have been watching you like a parent watches a fragile child closely, carefully, protectively. And when I saw danger approaching your next chapter, I could not stay silent. I could not let you walk forward unprepared. My child, you were about to step into something without the clarity you needed. You were about to make a decision without the discernment your spirit requires. You were about to accept something that would drain you, or walk away from something sent to bless you. You were about to place your heart in a vulnerable space where the enemy was waiting. You were seconds away from missing a divine moment prepared specifically for your future. So I stop you, not to control you, but to save you, not to limit you, but to protect you. I interrupted you because you were seconds away from missing something important. You think you paused by accident. You think something simply caught your attention. But it was I who touched your spirit. I who whispered, "Stop here." I who placed weight on your heart that made you slow down. I who aligned this moment with the exact second your defenses dropped just enough to hear me. Do not underestimate how much effort heaven put into giving you this moment. You didn't plan to hear me today, but I planned to speak to you. I have been circling your heart for days, trying to get your attention through small signs, sudden thoughts, brief nudges, subtle warnings. You felt it, the tug, the tension, the uneasiness, the feeling that something was shifting but you couldn't explain what it was. That was my call. That was my spirit moving around you. But life was loud. People were loud. Pressure was loud. And my whispers were drowned out. So now I speak louder. I speak with urgency. I speak in a way you cannot ignore. Please support our channel. Our aim is to bring happiness into your life and deepen your devotion to God. If you wish to support us, you can do so through Super Thanks. Your contribution means a lot to us. This moment is divine timing, my child. Timing in the spiritual realm is not random. Time opens in windows, moments where heaven can intervene, moments where I can redirect your steps, moments where I can shield you from what is forming against you. This window is open now. If you had glanced away, if you had scrolled past, if you had dismissed this moment, you would have walked into the next chapter blind. And I could not allow that. You have been struggling internally more than you admit. You've been trying to hold it together, trying to function, trying to be strong. But your heart is tired. Your mind is scattered. Your spirit is weary. You've been feeling lost in ways you do not express, heavy in ways you do not understand, confused in ways you do not confess. I have watched you trying to navigate life with wounds you have not allowed me to heal. And now, you are stepping into a new season, one that requires clarity, strength, vision, and discernment. A season where the wrong move could cost you peace. A season where the right move could elevate your destiny. A season I refuse to let you enter without my guidance. I could not let you walk into the next chapter unprepared. I could not watch you face things I know you are not ready for. I could not let the enemy take advantage of your exhaustion or confusion. I could not let your unhealed wounds lead you into unwise decisions. You have been battling silently, but heaven has been active loudly on your behalf. And now, with my voice, I break through the noise to prepare you, protect you, and position you for what is coming. My child, you were stopped here because the next part of your life depends on hearing me. You were stopped here because I love you too deeply to let you walk blindly. You were stopped here because I see the danger ahead and the blessing beyond it. You were stopped here because your destiny needed this interruption. Your soul needed this awakening. Your heart needed this moment. I am here, speaking clearly, urgently, lovingly. Stay with me. Something important is coming, and this moment is your preparation for it. My child, now I must reveal what your eyes have not seen, what your mind has not understood, and what your spirit has only felt in fragments. There is a warning rising around your life, a warning you didn't expect, a warning hidden beneath the surface of your emotions, a warning that has been building quietly and steadily in the unseen realm. Something has shifted. Something has moved. Something has awakened spiritually, and you were not prepared to recognize it. But I saw it the moment it began to form. I saw the first wriggle, the first shudder, the first tremor, and I refused to let it reach you. You have been experiencing sudden emotional storms that you could not explain. One moment you felt fine, the next moment overwhelmed. One moment you felt steady, the next moment on the verge of tears. One moment you had clarity, the next moment confusion clouded your mind. These storms did not appear out of nowhere. They came because something spiritual began pressing against your soul, something trying to disrupt your peace, steal your stability, weaken your resolve. You thought you were simply emotional, were off. But what you felt were the first waves of a spiritual battle forming around you. Attacks have been rising suddenly and subtly. Little irritations turning into heavy burdens. Small disappointments feeling like major failures. Simple tasks draining you completely. Relationships that once felt peaceful suddenly becoming tense. Thoughts that once felt distant now pressing loudly, persistently. Doubts that once whispered now shouting. These are not random changes. These are spiritual pressures designed to break your rhythm and distract your heart. The enemy knows you are close to breakthrough, so he has been trying to wear you down with small attacks that accumulate until your spirit feels too tired to fight. Temptation has been increasing as well, not only the temptation to sin, but the temptation to settle, to give up, to isolate yourself, to fall back into old patterns, to return to familiar places that once harmed your spirit. Temptation is a sign of spiritual shifting. When something powerful is coming toward your life, the enemy tries to lure you out of position. He places things in your path that appeal to the wounds you haven't fully healed or the fears you haven't confronted. He tries to confuse you by offering you the very things you once prayed to be freed from. Temptation intensifies right before elevation. Wrong people have been drawing close, some from your past, some disguised as new comfort, some appearing supportive but carrying hidden motives. You may have already noticed it. People showing up with false kindness, sudden attention, false reassurance, or emotional pull. They look harmless. Some even look helpful. But they are not sent by me. The enemy often uses people when he wants to distract you, derail you, or reopen a wound. He sends people who appear soft but bring emotional danger. He uses familiar voices to pull you backward because he knows you might ignore unfamiliar ones. My child, be careful. Not every person approaching you in this season is a blessing. Some are bait. Old wounds have been resurfacing unexpectedly. Things you thought you were over suddenly hurt again. Memories you buried began rising to your mind at night. Feelings you thought you outgrew suddenly return. You wondered, why am I feeling this again? But it is not regression. It is a pattern. The enemy is poking at your old wounds because he knows they are your most vulnerable places. He knows that if he can reopen old pain, he can control your decisions. He knows that if he can weaken your heart emotionally, he can weaken your spirit spiritually. But I revealed this now because I intend to heal those wounds completely so they lose all power over you. You have felt sudden pressure on your soul, pressure that makes no sense in relation to your circumstances. Pressure you cannot explain logically. Pressure that feels like something tightening around your heart. Pressure that makes it hard to breathe deeply or think clearly. This is not your mind failing you. This is not your body betraying you. This is not random anxiety. This is spiritual pressure. It is the weight of an approaching battle, the enemy trying to crush your spirit before I awaken your strength. My child, hear me clearly. You think it's random, but it's not. Nothing about what you're feeling is accidental. Nothing about this pressure is meaningless. Nothing about your recent confusion is coincidence. Something is forming in the shadows that I refuse to let reach you. Something has been set in motion that I am intercepting right now by speaking to you so directly. You have been sensing danger without knowing where it is coming from. You have been feeling overwhelmed without knowing why. You have been drifting emotionally without meaning to. That is why this message feels heavy. That is why my presence feels intense. That is why your spirit feels stirred. My child, this message is not simply information. This message is a shield, a protective divine intervention, a wall I am building around you with every word, a barrier between you and the attack forming against you. You think this is just a message, but this is me placing myself between you and danger. This is me standing in front of what was rising to strike you. This is me blocking what was coming for your mind, your heart, your emotions, your peace, your clarity, your destiny. You were not aware of this battle, but I was. You did not see the traps forming, but I did. You did not sense the deception approaching, but I did. You did not recognize the shift, but I felt it the moment it began. And instantly I moved to protect you. Instantly I stepped into your timeline. Instantly I placed weight on your soul to stop you long enough for heaven to intervene. This is why you felt compelled to open this message. This is why my voice feels urgent. This is why your spirit feels alert. You are being shielded in real time. You are being protected in this very moment. You are being pulled out of a spiritual current you did not realize was dragging you. This is divine rescue. This is divine intervention. This is heaven covering you from an attack that was closer than you knew. My child, the storm forming is real. The spiritual pressure is real. The danger is real. But so is my protection. So is my voice. So is my power. I have stepped in because I refuse to let darkness touch what belongs to me. I refuse to let the enemy steal what I have planned for you. I refuse to watch you walk blindly into a battle you are not meant to fight alone. Stay with me. Listen closely. Let my words cover you. Let this message shield you. Let my warning redirect your steps. Something powerful is happening, and this moment is your escape from the damage the enemy hoped to bring. I am your protection, your covering, your rescue, and I will not fail you. My child, listen to me with all the focus your heart can hold, because now I must reveal a truth you have not fully understood. The greatest danger you face right now is not the storm itself, but the risk of looking away from my voice in the middle of it. The danger increases when your eyes drift, when your heart becomes distracted, when your spirit becomes numb, when your mind becomes confused, when your emotions overwhelm you, when the noise of life pulls you away from the sound of my guidance. This is why I am speaking with such intensity, because if you turn away from me now, you will miss what is meant to protect you. You don't see how close the battle is. You don't see how close the trap is. You don't see how close the deception is. You don't see how close the distraction is. But I see it. I see everything the enemy has set up around your path, everything ye have been studying, everything ye have been building, everything ye have been whispering behind the scenes. I see the subtle shift in your emotions. I see the heaviness in your spirit. I see the sudden discouragement that came without warning. I see the pressure rising against you. And I know exactly what the enemy is trying to do. Type Amen. Your timing is perfect. Lord, if you're waiting on His plan with hope, He wants your attention. He wants your focus. He wants your eyes to drift away from me. He wants your heart to wander. He wants your mind to spiral. He wants your spirit to weaken. Because He knows that the moment you stop listening, He gains access. My child, distraction is one of His sharpest weapons. Not the big distractions you can easily spot, but the small ones, the ones that look harmless, the ones that feel normal, the ones that slip quietly into your days. The endless scrolling, the meaningless noise, the constant pressure, the emotional clutter, the thoughts that drift, the worries that multiply, the responsibilities that pile up. All of these are designed to pull your spirit just far enough away from my voice that you stop noticing when I warn you. You have been feeling numb lately, haven't you? Not because you don't love me, not because your faith is gone, but because your heart has been overwhelmed. Numbness is the enemy's attempt to silence your spiritual senses. When he cannot destroy you, he tries to desensitize you. He tries to make you feel too tired to pray, too drained to listen, too distracted to notice the danger forming. Numbness makes you believe that nothing matters right now. But everything matters right now. This moment matters. This message matters. Your focus matters. Confusion has also been pressing on your mind, subtle at first, then louder. You found yourself second-guessing decisions, overthinking situation, questioning your direction, doubting your worth, unsure of what step to take next. Confusion is one of the enemy's favorite strategies. He surrounds your thoughts with fog, so you walk in circles. He blurs your judgment. He whispers lies that blend with your own thoughts. He twists your emotions until you cannot tell what is real and what is deception. You think it's just stress, but it's not. It's spiritual interference. And then comes emotional collapse, the moment when your emotions become too heavy, too sharp, too overwhelming for you to carry. The moment when everything feels like too much. The moment when small problems feel huge. The moment when one disappointment makes you want to give up. The enemy waits for those emotional collapses because he wants to attack you when you are most fragile. But I stepped in before he reached that point. I stepped in because I saw how close you were to breaking under the pressure. The most dangerous tactic he uses in this season is deception disguised as comfort. He sends things that look gentle but are harmful. He gives you options that seem comforting, but slowly drain your spirit. He introduces people who feel familiar, but are spiritually dangerous. He puts desires in front of you that feel good at first, but lead to consequences you cannot see. He paints traps in soft colors. He wraps chains in warm emotions. He hides danger behind pleasure. That's why the temptation in this season feels strangely comforting. It is deception, a counterfeit blessing, a false escape, a soothing poison. My child, You have no idea how close you came to walking into a trap, but I stepped in to stop you. You were inches away, closer than you realize. You were drifting emotionally, and that drift was pulling you toward something that would have wounded you deeply. You thought you were just lost in thought, but the enemy was trying to wrap a lie around your mind. You thought you were just tired, but he was trying to wear down your resistance. You thought someone new seemed comforting, but the enemy was trying to slip a distraction into your heart. You thought an old desire resurfaced naturally, but it came because something was trying to pull you backward. That is why I had to interrupt you. That is why this moment feels heavy. That is why my voice feels stronger, louder, clearer. Because the danger increases the moment you become distracted. The moment you stop listening. The moment you walk away from my warning. You are entering a critical point in your journey, and I refuse to let the enemy take advantage of your vulnerability. My beloved child, do not look away from me. Not now. Not during this shift. Not while the spiritual atmosphere is trembling. Not while the enemy is setting traps. Not while heaven is sending protection. You cannot afford to drift right now. You cannot afford to scroll past my voice. You cannot afford to numb yourself again. You cannot afford to silence your spirit. Everything around you is shifting. Everything inside you is being stirred. Everything ahead of you is being positioned. This is not a moment to turn away. This is a moment to lean in. A moment to listen. A moment to stay still. My child, I am not warning you to frighten you, I am warning you to save you. I am not exposing the enemy because he is powerful, but because you are precious. I am not speaking urgently because you failed, but because you are in danger of being pulled into something you cannot see. You are my beloved, and my love does not watch danger approach in silence. My love steps in. My love interrupts. My love warns. My love shields. My love protects. Stay here with me. Keep your heart open. Do not look away. What I am about to reveal next will protect your next steps. My child, before I speak these words, I want you to breathe slowly, because what I am about to touch is tender, hidden, and fragile. I am putting my hand gently over the deepest parts of your heart, places you do not show, places you no longer visit, places you've taught yourself to ignore because they hurt too much to face. I am not here to expose you. I am not here to shame you. I am here to rescue you. I am here to reveal what has been weighing you down so you can finally rise again. You are emotionally exhausted. You have been holding yourself together with a strength you no longer have. You have been pushing through each day as if you are fine, but inside you can feel the cracks forming. You wake up tired. You go through the day tired. You lie down tired. And still, your mind does not rest. You feel like you're carrying a mountain on your chest, and no matter how much you try to breathe, the weight does not lift. You try to encourage yourself, but the words feel empty. You try to smile, but the smile feels forced. You try to keep going, but each step feels heavier than the last. There is a silent heaviness that has settled inside you, quiet but suffocating. You don't talk about it, because you don't know how to explain it. You don't share it because you don't want anyone to worry. You don't confront it because you don't have the strength to unpack it. This heaviness doesn't shout. It just sits there, pressing against your heart with every moment of the day. It shows up when you wake up. It follows you through your routines. It whispers, "Hold on," but I won't let go. But my child, I see the heaviness. I have watched you fighting it silently, hoping it would disappear on its own. You have been feeling spiritually numb. Not because you do not love me, not because you do not believe, but because your heart has been overwhelmed for so long that your spirit feels distant. You pray, but the words feel dry. You worship, but your emotions feel disconnected. You want to feel me, but all you feel is emptiness. You want to hear me, but all you hear is silence. And inside, you wonder if something is wrong with you. But nothing is wrong with you, my child. You are simply exhausted, drained, stretched beyond what your heart can carry. Numbness is not rebellion. It is the body and soul protecting itself when the weight becomes too heavy. You are carrying deep sadness, sadness you don't talk about, sadness you pretend isn't there. You laugh, but it never reaches your eyes. You help others, but no one knows how much you're hurting inside. You show strength, but it's only because you are afraid to fall apart again. You feel sadness not just about one thing, but about many things at once: losses, disappointments, betrayals, regrets, unanswered prayers, broken expectations, unspoken fears. You keep telling yourself you should be stronger by now, but this sadness has roots deeper than you realized. Confusion has wrapped itself around your mind. You don't know which way to go, what decision to make, who to trust, what to believe, or how to feel. Your thoughts have been spinning, circling the same worries over and over. You try to find clarity, but the more you think, the more lost you feel. You've been asking yourself questions with no answers. You've been wondering what your purpose is. You've been questioning your direction. You've been trying to understand why life feels so uncertain. This confusion did not come from nowhere. Your heart is simply overwhelmed, and your mind cannot carry what your spirit was meant to give to me. My child, you have also been feeling worthless at times. I see those moments when you look at yourself and feel like you're not enough. Not good enough, not strong enough, not successful enough, not lovable enough. You judge yourself harshly, more harshly than anyone else ever could. You believe lies about your worth because the enemy has whispered them so many times that they started to sound like your own thoughts. You think you disappoint me. You think you disappoint yourself. You think everyone else is moving forward while you are standing still. But these feelings of worthlessness are not the truth. They are wounds speaking louder than your hope. Disappointment has been living in your heart. Disappointment in yourself, in others, in life, in timing, in outcomes that didn't match your prayers. You've carried the weight of things that should have worked out but didn't, dreams that should have bloomed but wilted, relationships that should have lasted but broke, seasons that should have healed you but hurt you instead. You've tried to pretend the disappointment doesn't affect you, but it does. It lives quietly in the background, shaping the way you think, the way you expect, the way you fear the future. My child, you're tired in ways you haven't spoken. You're hurting in places you no longer look at. You have wounds that no one knows about. Wounds you've covered so well that even you forget they are there until something touches them, and they burn all over again. Wounds from words spoken over you. Wounds from people who let you down. Wounds from seasons of loneliness. Wounds from loving too deeply without being loved back. Wounds from trying so hard and still feeling unseen. Comment Amen. I receive your blessings today if you're claiming God's promises over your life, and share this video.